So do you get the context of the scene, Brian? Do you get what Jimmy Craig is saying? On you. If you need to become Jimmy Craig.
Just give me a second.
Yeah.
If you want me to take a test, Herb, I'll take your test.
I want to see the guy in net who wouldn't take the test. Welcome back into the Bro Force Squad podcast. This is episode 75, and we're just a bunch of bros drinking beer and talking movies. That quote was from the great Herb Brooks from the movie Miracle, which I've watched like 4 times this past week, but not to completion yet. Maybe we'll get to that later. I'm your host, Jeff Hornacek. Before we get started, let's go around and meet the fellow bros joining me. It's the usual crew today, and so as always, we go first into the lab to the mad scientist, Brian Banner. Banner, I paid you $30 to cut my lawn last week, but all you did was show up, drink a 12-pack of my beer, and claim you were priming my mower the whole time. So can I get my money or the beer back? Wait, is that one of the ones that you took from me?
No, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm actually really proud of myself because I actually didn't read show notes, and I was going to do that with regardless of what you said, so it just really worked out in my favor.
Sometimes less is more, you know?
Now you're doing too much.
We don't need to, well, now you're just boogie boarding. You have to do more than that. And next, into the paint to our enforcer, Matt Geiger. Hey, Matt, I'm thinking about getting a barbed wire tattoo on my bicep so chicks know I'm fucking cool. What would your advice for me be?
Absolutely do it. Just don't do it on the under part of your arm because it hurts like a motherfucker. And really, chicks don't even see that part ever anyway. So, but it really does hurt like a mother when it's under there. And also, there's show notes.
It's kind of just like a thing that I do for me, you know?
Oh, that's cool, man.
No, it's like a diary.
They're like letterbox.
Yeah, it's like that movie review thing you do.
Oh, people, you know what it's called. Is that not the biggest diss when you act like you don't know the name of something or someone? Like, oh, what's your buddy's name? Like, it's Chris. You fucking know him. You guys are like really close.
You're fucking his sister.
Also, Geiger, would you at all be concerned that no matter how cool my barbed wire tattoo is, it won't be as cool as Nick Lachey's?
Nothing any of us ever do will ever be as cool as the shit Nick Lachey just took in his toilet right now.
All of our wives or girlfriends are like, damn right, from the other room.
They would all leave us to fuck Nick Lachey tonight.
I'd leave you to fuck Nick Lachey.
Yeah, but Brian, he's just not...
I would leave myself to go fuck Nick Lachey right now.
Yeah, well, he's neither of our types. That's the only problem, really. All right, if you have not listened to our show before, if you have, you know that we start every episode off with the most important thing in any bro's life, and that is chest day. And today our chest day is, since none of us saw Detective Pikachu this week, and you're probably fucking sick of us talking about Endgame, we decided to do a good old-fashioned top 3 list. Our list today is actually pretty unlike anyone that we've done before. As you could probably tell from the title of this episode, we are discussing performances we love from actors that we really don't. So this is a performance from an actor or actress that we thought was fucking awesome. But in general, that actor or actress, we kind of want to shit our pants every time we see them. So as is Bro Force Squad tradition, we didn't really plan this out too much with each other before jumping on the show. So I think it might make sense for us to go around and say how we ordered our list before we dive in. So I'll go first. This might all be uniform to all of us, so this may be completely useless. But again, as I said, part of the joy and the novelty of this show is that we kind of fucking fly by the seat of our pants. So mine are ranked like 3, 2, 1 based on how much I loved the performance, not how much I hated the actor, if that makes sense. So like my number 1 isn't the actor that I hate the most, it's the performance of these 3 that I enjoyed the most. So Banner, without revealing any of your top 3 or a spoiler, is that kind of how your list looks?
Kind of. I mean, I thought of my first one
That
first.
was kind of.
Yeah, I thought of my first one first, then my second one after that, and then my third one last. So that's how I ordered mine.
So the order that this is like when the NCAA tournament committee really fucking trips over themselves. So you just like the order you came up with the teams? Yeah, no, that's
Yeah,
pretty much
that's
what it is.
exactly what I did. So
That's
I'll try and match yours. So the order of the performance I liked the most will be my number 1.
Okay.
And we're gonna go 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, so it could work out that number 2 is like the actor that you hate the most, but his performance or her performance was second best. Geiger, how's your list look? Because I don't want you to have to rearrange it if it's not the same. Just want the fans to know.
So I got a couple actors that I absolutely hate in roles that I absolutely love in their movies.
Yeah, did you rank them in any particular order?
I mean, I just got 3.
And they're not in any order. I'll
I could
ask again.
I could rank them in my head right now. So yeah.
Is this like when your teacher you ask, "Can I use the restroom?" and they go, "I don't know, can you?" Like, will
I
you
can also
order?
take a shit in your trash can. How about that?
And that's a suspension. That's why I didn't see you much your senior year of high school. That and the fact that you were a grade below me, but mainly the shitting in the trash
It
can
was a
thing.
misunderstanding.
All right, without further ado, Geiger, I'll give you a second to rank yours. So I'll start off excuse me. With my number 3 all-time performance I love from an actor that I hate. Guys, I'm going to have some deep cuts.
We're
on
gonna
this
confuse the shit out of our fans.
one. I think they got it. Our fans are way smarter than us, so they know what the fuck's
So we
up.
hate
Especially-
these actors or actresses, but they play a role and we're like, damn, this is actually really fucking good.
Exactly. This is like a time you're like, dude, I hate you. Like, I can't believe I liked you in that role so much. That's basically what all these are.
Couldn't say
But
it
you'll
better
get the-
myself.
You'll get the jizz from my list. My number 3 is Ashton Kutcher in The Butterfly Effect. Now, I like Ashton Kutcher a lot as Kelso on that 70s show, but aside from Dude, Where's My Car, I don't think there's a single movie of his outside of The Butterfly Effect that I don't roll my eyes at. Or like, I'm like, dude, you're trying really, really hard. And I know that you're not as likable as your character is. And The Butterfly Effect to me it's like probably his most serious role. I didn't see that Steve Jobs movie, but I heard it was dog shit. But this was a movie that really, really stuck with me. The premise of it obviously is like, you know, the old proverb about a butterfly, like a butterfly flaps his wings in one part of the world and it can cause a tsunami somewhere else. It's about how even like the things that seem inconsequential in your life can actually end up having like huge ramifications down the road. And he's able to kind of, well, I won't spoil it, but this was like the performance I think of his career. And if you have not seen The Butterfly Effect, I recommend it. I think it came out like at the very, very end of that 70s show, maybe like a year or two afterwards.
It was actually in the middle of that 70s show because 70s show ended like 05, and I think this was like 03.
Oh wow, I don't know.
Yeah, this is an older show. Like I was middle of high school, maybe even early high school when this came out. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. While you look that up.
No, you're right. This came out in 04, and that 70s show ended in 06. So probably about the time that his Kelso kind of starts not becoming a regular character, but more like a recurring character. Maybe in line with the production of this and Dude, Where's My Car? But it's Ashton Kutcher, unlike you had ever seen him at the time, could not be more opposite from Michael Kelso. And the movie, to me, it actually like really affected me, as weird as that sounds. Like it sticks with you, some of the stuff you see in the film. Amy Smart is also in it.
Yeah, it's a really good movie. I agree. I like Ashton Kutcher, so I don't agree with your choice, but I like that movie. All right. So I
hate Ashton Kutcher, so I'm with that.
And also, Eldon Henson from, of course, Daredevil and the Mighty Ducks is in it. He plays his best friend.
Yeah, Foggy's
so the butterfly.
So it's right up your alley, Geiger.
I was gonna put Eldon Henson on this list, but he's never done anything that I liked. So that's kind of I just hate him.
Yeah. All right,
Banner, you're number 3.
My number 3 is this is one of those actors that he just plays the same goddamn character in every fucking movie. But I just really like these movies, and I think that really helps him in this. Jesse Eisenberg in Now You See Me, or in Now You See Me Too. I don't like him in anything, but I like those movies, and I don't know. I guess this isn't really his performance; it's just the movie in general. So pass.
Well, I think the thing about him, so Jesse, I guess I'll just say this now. I have an honorable mention of Jesse Eisenberg. I won't tell you what the role is, but he is such an asshole in real life. Like if you watch his interviews, it's kind of the same deal with Ashton Kutcher.
Zombieland is your honorable mention, isn't it?
No, it's not
Oh.
actually. But he's just like impossible to like, and when they try and I don't know, I'm not stupid enough to even believe that an actor like him would be personable enough. But I really do like Now You See Me Too. I think Woody Harrelson is my favorite performance in it. But yeah, that's not a bad choice at all. He definitely fits. That's the scouting report of what we're looking for here, right? A dude that every time you see him, usually like, dude, shut the fuck up. But there's just this one role that you're like, all right, I'm getting it right now. This is why casting directors get paid the big bucks. Geiger, your number 3.
Okay, my number 3. This next guy, I'm not sure why he's known as one of the Hollywood elite. Just looking at some of his movies, and there's a word that we talked about off pod that we're not supposed to use. That's going to be really hard not to bring up because he played radio, but that's Cuba Gooding Jr. And the only role he's ever been good in my opinion, is Jerry Maguire as Rod Tidwell. Boys in the Hood's okay. I don't think he's the main reason I watched that movie. He's in fucking Snow Dogs.
Yep.
You didn't like
Pearl
Snow
Harbor
Dogs?
Sucks. No.
What'd you say
And-
sucks?
Pearl Harbor.
Yeah.
American Gangster. I mean, he's not even the third actor billed on that thing.
I totally forgot he was even in it.
Yeah, I didn't even realize
I
he was in
did
it.
too. I'm still looking Daddy Daycare, In Game. I mean, the ones Men of Honor, he was in that. That one's
He's
okay.
He's in a movie called Judgment Night with Emilio Estevez. That's pretty good, but it's dwarfed by the Rock.
But if you say Cuba Gooding Jr., everyone's like, "Oh man, he's a great actor." I'm like, "Cool, name 4 movies he's been good in." Jerry Maguire, he was perfect in. Great, made the movie. I think. I mean, Tom Cruise is great in it, but he made the movie. But other than that, I really don't like him in fucking anything.
I mean, if you look back in hindsight, it's like kind of amazing that movie worked as well as it did. Because yeah, I could probably come up with 5 other actors right now that would play a better Rod Tidwell, like in my head. But he was just perfect in that role. I don't know. Whoever the
back
fuck.
then, I think Jamie Foxx could have played that role.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Oh yeah, that was a great pick.
Steamin' Willie Beeman.
But show me the money, that scene. Show! Me!
Cuba Gooding Jr. was great in that. I just don't think he's really been in anything else of note.
I mean, the crazy thing about Jerry Maguire is him, Cuba Gooding, and Renee Zellweger, somehow that was both their performance of a lifetime. It was just like the perfect storm. It's like when a 16 seed beats a 1, like they just have to have all their role players hitting everything, and that's what Jerry Maguire got. Ask Jonathan Lipnicki if they caught lightning in a bottle.
Who?
He's about to be on, exactly. The little kid who's about to be on like Celebrity Chef Apprentice, some shit like that. All right, this one is going to be, my number 2 is going to be met with some controversy. And it is Tobey Maguire for Spider-Man 1 and 2. And I know that he has done a couple other high-profile films.
Pleasantville?
He's my least favorite part of Pleasantville.
Okay.
Reese Witherspoon makes that movie to me. His character is just too aw-shucksy in that, even for the role that he's playing. I don't really like him in Seabiscuit. He's Charlize Theron acts circles around him in The Cider House Rules. And in The Great Gatsby, Leo embarrasses him in every scene.
Yeah. That's a situation where the 1 is playing the 16 and the 1 doesn't play any of their starters 10 minutes into the first half. They're already up by 50.
And they still cover.
That movie is the equivalent of LeBron James calling Damon Jones, be like, "Hey, bro, I've got this team together if you want to be a part of it."
Exactly what it is. Yes. Or James Jones, like Damon Jones, like I'm like really retired, like I can't even walk. He's like, all right, I'll call James Jones. Thank you. Or Mike Miller. That's the other guy.
Yeah.
But Leo, I think Leo's probably second best performance is that movie Brothers he did with Jake Gyllenhaal and Natalie Portman, where he plays the war veteran who comes back. Natalie Portman was married to him, thought he died, starts fucking his brother, and he comes back and like all hell breaks loose. But
I always wanted to see that movie.
It's interesting. There's a pretty big twist in it that I won't ruin for you. But I think the thing with Tobey Maguire, I love him a lot as Peter Parker. he wasn't like a great Spider-Man. You notice I left out Spider-Man 3 because obviously of all the
Nobody
issues
was
with
good
that,
in that.
with that film. But it's almost a positive and a negative that every time I think of him for the rest of eternity, he will just be Peter Parker waking up and realizing he doesn't need his glasses. And maybe he was typecast. Maybe that was the problem. But I don't think this list is anything for these actors to hang their head on, because it really is like a compliment to this one role. And for Tobey Maguire, I think he is the poster child for that. Banner, how about you?
Yeah, it was a good pick. I
No, don't compliment me. What's your
Yeah,
numbers?
just say your number
sorry.
two.
All right.
We know it was a good pick.
My next one. It is no secret on this show. I fucking hate Brie Larson. I fucking hate
Shut
her.
your whore mouth.
Yeah, I don't. I know she won an Academy Award and whatever, blah blah blah. I don't like her. I think she fucking sucks. But I really dug her in Kong Skull Island.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why.
I thought you were going to say either Scott Pilgrim or 21 Jump Street.
Nope.
But that's...
No, I could honestly care less about her in either one of those. But in Kong Skull Island, I don't know what it was. Just her playing that, like, I don't give a shit, I don't take no for an answer reporter. I actually dug, and I think that really worked for her. Other than that, I don't think she's worked in any other movie I've seen. Check out our Captain Marvel review. I thought she was bad in that as well. But Kong Skull Island, I really enjoyed her in. I thought her and Hiddleston played off each other pretty well, and I enjoyed her in that. So that was one that, yeah.
Have you seen Room?
I haven't. I'll be honest with you guys.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, obviously that's what she won her Academy Award.
I'm sure my opinion would be skewed if I saw that, but also you can't go off of one performance. I mean, that's like the performance of the lifetime, and then you have to back that up with other movies, and she just hasn't done that.
That's fair. All right, good pick. I'm glad you gave my girl Brie Larson some love. Geiger, what is your number 2 favorite performance from an actor or actress you hate?
I didn't give her love. I gave her like a one-night stand. There's a difference.
They're not objects.
Sorry, Geiger.
Geiger.
Didn't mean to pull you.
This is just an opinion, and I can say whatever the fuck I want. I'm gonna pick Tom Hanks because I fucking
Oh,
hate Tom
wow.
Hanks.
Who would have thought he'd make an appearance on this list?
Tom Hanks will be on your TV screen begging you to give him Oscar nom and then help you fill out your ballot after the fucking movie's over. He's everything that's wrong with the Hollywood left, or whatever the fuck you want to call them, how they act like they're all mighty and mighty, and then they just do some fucking Oscar movie about the press, and then they'll tell you how that you shouldn't just vote on your own, you should vote how they want to vote. But one movie, and I'm not going to pick Forrest Gump because I think he's everything wrong with Forrest Gump. I like everything on Forrest Gump. I think he did a good job. But A League of Their Own is how I like my Tom Hanks cooked. He's fucking hilarious in it. He doesn't preach. He's not on my knees begging me to just, this is an Oscar movie, you know, I'm doing a really good job. I'm playing a fucking airline pilot or something that can land a plane. Isn't that
You
what they're
really
supposed to do?
hate Sully.
Dude, you can't stand that fucking movie.
It's like,
Because ask any pilot, they could have landed the plane.
but they didn't.
Any pilot could have landed that fucking plane. It was just that pilot happened to land it.
And if
It's
they
not that big
did
deal.
save lives, they'd be the ones getting interviewed.
That'd be like a firefighter being like saving the fire. I was just there that day. Any firefighter could have put that out. Anyway, I digress. Tom Hanks sucks. He needs to fucking retire, or he needs to do more movies like this that are funny. And I don't think he can do that anymore, because every time he's on Saturday Night Live, he's like, okay, I'll be funny. What do you want me to make fun of politically? I'm like, we just kind of want you to do something just kind of fun, not politically. I don't know how to do that anymore. But A League of Their Own is fucking great.
That scene in A League of Their Own where he's in the dugout and just takes a fucking piss, that is one of my favorite scenes in any movie.
One of probably the most enjoyed pisses in any movie ever. Like, really, as a character.
So good. He has so many great quotes in that, like when the kid asks him to autograph his baseball and he signs it, avoid the clap, Jimmy Dugan. There's just so much great shit in that movie. He's what makes that movie for me, and he's only probably in about 6 scenes.
The most quotable quote of that entire movie is, "There's no crying in baseball."
Which we all, I mean, I proved that wrong in Little League. There definitely is fucking
Jeff
crying.
cried all the time.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why they kept pitching me inside. It's fucking horse shit. All right. Number 1, guys. This is it. This is the time everybody's been waiting for. My number 1 performance by an actor I love the performance I love, the actor I hate. I fucked it up at the very end. This is a top 15 movie all time for me. That's not hyperbole. If you ask anyone that I know, I own this movie. I watch the shit out of it probably at least once or twice a year.
Mission Impossible Fallout?
Boy.
No, I love everyone in that. So I don't know what you're talking about. Geiger and I really have a love-hate relationship with this guy, but this role, I just fucking love this movie, and that is Joseph Gordon-Levitt in 500 Days of Summer. This is, I think, maybe his performance isn't the best at all of any of these three guys, but I love this movie so goddamn much. The framing device is one of the coolest I've ever seen. Summer, if you haven't seen the movie, is a girl who Joseph Gordon-Levitt is in a relationship with, and they end up dating for exactly 500 days. So it basically shows how, like, relationships are great in the beginning, and then they're, like, really shitty at the end, and then his character does not handle the breakup very well, in some very humorous ways. But I find Joseph Gordon-Levitt's work kind of pretentious unless he's with Seth Rogen, who somehow brings out the levity in him in 50-50 and The Night Before. But for the most part, I feel like Joseph Gordon-Levitt is such a big fan of Joseph Gordon-Levitt that he doesn't really need our approval. It's optional to him. But 500 Days of Summer is a top 15 movie all time for me, maybe even close to top 10. So I have to go.
That movie.
He is just fucking awesome in it. So I think he was like the poster child when we came up with this list. I was like, he's got to be my number one. Andrew, how about you?
I think what works so well for that pick is honestly, he might be your most hated actor.
Geiger and I
hate him too.
When he used to be, when he was refusing to come back for any potential, like, sequel to The Dark Knight Rises, Geiger and I would call each other and for 30 minutes just bitch about Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Like, he wasn't even that big. He's still not that big an actor, but he wasn't anyone. He was lucky to even get that fucking movie. He'd be like, yeah, I'll be Robin as many fucking times as you want me to be. That's what you say.
When Joseph Gordon-Levitt said, I really like to pick my scripts carefully, from the set of G.I. Joe, The Rise of Cobra, I said, what the fuck are we talking about, dude? You're on the set of G.I. Joe.
Right. Not even G.I. Joe, the shitty sequel to G.I. Joe.
No, it was the first one, but he played like a villain. I mean, whatever. No one tuned in to listen to our take on G.I. Joe, The Rise of Cobra. And if you did, movie commentary coming in 4 years, probably.
Probably, because we've done every other fucking movie that we possibly can before that. All right, my next number one pick, and I'm kind of in the same boat. I just really like this movie. Ty Sheridan in Mud.
I forgot he was in that.
Yeah, he's not I guess he is he's a big part of the movie, and
yeah, he's the kid that Matt Damon keeps sending into town to get him like
check
cigarettes.
Yourself, Matthew McConaughey.
Matthew McConaughey.
Jesus, that's another one. Matt Damon would be on this list if he actually did a good movie. Like,
that's what I was thinking about. I was like, I don't. Yeah.
There's a lot of actors. Yeah, there's a lot of actors. I'm like, they would make this list, except for the fact that they don't have a movie that I like. But I thought he did really good, especially he was a little bit younger, so you can almost consider him a kid actor in that one. And I thought he did a really, really good job. Him and Matthew McConaughey seemed to have a pretty good chemistry. And it's just a really good fucking movie. If you guys haven't checked it out, check it out. Ty Sheridan, Matthew McConaughey. And I fucking hate Ty Sheridan. I don't really like anything that is in. He's the worst part of the X-Men continued franchise. We won't get into that now.
And that is saying something.
We won't get into that. And then Ready Player One, he's also the worst part. The best part about that is when he's a voice actor, which is not a compliment. So I don't like Ty Sheridan, except I thought he did really well in Mud.
He's in a movie I saw called The Stanford Prison Experiment, and he gets like kind of tortured in it, and I found myself in a sick way really enjoying it. I was eating popcorn like, hit him.
Harder.
All right, Geiger, what is the number one performance you love from an actor you hate?
Bring us home.
I was gonna pick Matt Damon, but you guys already fucked that up. So
what was the movie? Good Will Hunting?
No, fuck no. Ocean's 11. Ocean's 11. However, I digress. I'm picking another person that I absolutely fucking hate, and I even hate him more. But I love this movie. It's my top 10 movie of all time, and that's Joaquin Phoenix and Walk the Line. Joaquin Phoenix, I don't think is a Daniel Day-Lewis type actor, but people put him in that category just because he went on Letterman and said he's going to quit acting and grow a beard and fucking rap.
Geiger's about to get mad about her also. He always says this.
Yeah, and he had sex with a phone in a movie. So since he's weird and fucking strange and on drugs, man, the guy must be a great method actor. That's false, ladies and gentlemen. That's not
Geiger.
true. However,
in his defense, the phone had Scarlett Johansson's voice. That's why he fucked it.
I could maybe play a little 5-on-1 to that, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, he is fantastic as Johnny Cash, and that is a probably top 10 movie for me. However, every other one of his movies, I think he's sucked in. Even Gladiator. I mean, for him being such a great method actor and everything, I mean, Russell Crowe did laps around him in that movie. I don't think he's good at anything else. I liked his brother River a lot better than I like him. But since he's such a weird fucking dude and probably eats squirrels, we're going to give him the Joker role. So good luck with that. But I do hate him, but I did love him in that movie.
That was on TV the other day, and it's just as awesome.
It's fantastic.
As it ever was.
Absolutely.
Great music biopic.
Which is very hard to do, playing somebody so iconic as Johnny Cash. Very
and I'm
hard
pretty sure that came out before Johnny Cash died, so there's even more pressure to do a good job.
I believe so, yeah.
It was right around that time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a couple honorable mentions. I don't have much to say about them, but they just missed out on my list. Do either of you guys have any?
No.
Okay.
I was told to get 3.
All right, so it's called Going Above and Beyond.
I was told to get 3, and I got 2, and I actually got 4. So.
So one, I actually think I speak for the whole pod, and it's actually television, and it just happened. And that's Steven Dorff from season 3 of True Detective. This dude brought it, and he's been like a fucking 8th build in everything that I've seen him in. Really uneventful. Don't think I've liked him in anything, and he's on my radar now. Steven Dorff, you can't hide any longer. 2 that might resonate with you guys. Josh Lucas from Glory Road. He plays Coach Don Haskins. This guy is in like Sweet Home Alabama, the Ang Lee Incredible Hulk. I mean, he sucks. How did he give that performance? He's awesome in Glory Road. Like, he's really good. I don't know. It's just the role of a lifetime. He's the fucking dude in Sweet Home Alabama. I'll say again.
Is he on steroids?
Probably. And you know who else he is? He's the voice in the Lowe's commercials. So maybe that's like his second best role. And then a final one, this guy's already been mentioned, but Jesse Eisenberg as Mark Zuckerberg in The Social Network.
He was still fucking sucked.
I think it's like, well, the reason that role's so good is it's like it requires to be a little bit of an asshole, and he's like, I can be a lot of it. You tell me how much asshole you need, I'll just dial it back from there.
Here's the problem. I didn't see him as Zuckerberg. I saw him as Jesse Eisenberg. He wasn't fucking acting. He was just showed up.
But I don't think they're that different.
Is Zuckerberg that big of a dick? I've always wondered that.
Apparently, he's a huge fucking dick.
Every interview I've seen, every question he gets asked, it could literally be like, how's it going? And he's like, that's a stupid question.
Okay, all right. I've never really seen an interview with Zuckerberg. I did like him in that movie, though.
And I think they both kind of nail the socially awkward guy that actually just thinks he's like way fucking cooler than anyone else.
Yeah. The best part about that movie was Justin Timberlake.
Justin Timberlake sucked in that movie.
What? I thought he was great.
Yeah, I thought he was great in that movie.
Oh my god, dude! The scene where he tries to tell the cops, like, frame someone else for the coke was horrible. Whatever. I digest. All right, you guys want to add anything else to your list of top 3 performances you love from actors you hate?
No. I'm kind of surprised Chris Evans didn't make this list, but I guess again he falls in that category of we hate him.
I don't like
but
anything he's ever been
he's still
in,
not in. Have you seen Snowpiercer?
I have.
He's pretty good in that.
He's solid. Before We Go is one of my favorite performances of his too. A little indie film. The tough thing about this list was, I don't know how you guys built yours. I worked off of who are the actors I really fucking hate, and then I tried to find like a movie in there that I was like, oh, that's really good. As opposed to like my favorite performances, and I was like, do I hate them? I worked the other way around. What does that tell you that my heart is so full of hate that I could put together a long list of people that I don't enjoy in general? If this is someone's first time listening to the podcast, or they're like, do you guys just shit on actors all the time? We really don't. That's why this is cool. We got a chance to talk about people we don't actually like.
We drink beer too.
So we're back. All right. Second part of our show is our protein shake, where we go around and talk about what is in our cup, also known as what have we watched lately. I have 4 things. Who has the most? We'll have them go first.
Is that really a question?
You had an off week last week.
No, we didn't do an episode last week. I did have an off week 2 weeks ago, though, but I've made up for it.
We did Hurricane Heist.
I forgot we've had 2 weeks for you to pile shit up.
Yeah.
All right, Banner. Talk about the 37 things you watched.
All right, so I watched the second part of Sherlock. Again, that's like basically 3 movies. Again, guys, Benedict Cumberbatch, fantastic. You guys should watch it. Me and the wife.
2 questions.
Yeah.
Sorry. Because, if we can talk about these, let's go for it. Is Martin Freeman Watson in all of them?
Yes.
Is it at all connected to the first one, or is it like almost the Sherlock Holmes movies where it's like, all right, he solved this case, it kind of matters, but this is like still kind of a new case?
So each episode is a new case, but they all kind of there's a through line that like they continue to build on.
Interesting. So when you say parts,
so,
like how
part is basically a season, but I don't know how apart they were, but like so they have a part because it's not like. What we think of a season is like 8, 10, 30 episodes. These are 3 episodes, but each episode's like an hour and a half.
Okay.
On Ronnie Cycli's, wow, I just fucked up my mic. On Ronnie Cycli's suggestion, me and the wife watched the first season of Barry on HBO.
I have heard great things about that, probably just from Cycle.
It is fan-fucking-tastic. So
dark
funny.
Dark humor, right?
Very dark humor. Here's the premise. You have a hitman that decides he doesn't want to be a hitman anymore and he wants to be an actor. Like, it's just...
And Henry Winkler is what, his dad?
Henry Winkler is the acting coach. So he's...
That's even...
So
does
Bill
Henry
Hader,
Winkler know he is... Sorry for so many questions. Know that he is a hitman?
I'm only through the first season, but he does not to this point. So Bill Hader is the hitman, obviously, the main character. Henry Winkler is the acting coach, and Bill Hader is taking his class. It's really fucking good. Him navigating the waters of getting out of the hitman business and trying to become an actor and tap into his inner acting ability. Excuse me. Really, really funny. Another Martin Freeman, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Geiger, have you seen this one?
I've heard of it.
You would fucking hate it.
I have not seen it. Is it on HBO?
No, it's on Netflix.
Okay.
Right now. I really enjoyed it. Okay, go ahead and make fun of me, but there are books that go along with this. There's a Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Then there's 3 other ones. Yeah, there's 3 other ones. I've read the books. They're really funny. I don't think the movie does the books justice, but it does a good job of representing the book because they kind of tried to do. They can't do all 4 books or all the books, so. But it was good. It was solid. I enjoyed it. It was a fun, quick watch. Moving right along, Inception. Went back and revisited that. It's on HBO right now. I honestly don't think I've seen it since I saw it in theaters. Guys, it's really fucking good. Really fucking good.
That's what got Tom Hardy the role of Bane.
Yeah, and Tom Hardy was arguably the best role player in that. I mean, Leo did a really good job. Joseph Gordon-Levitt, previously mentioned, was fine, but Tom Hardy was really good in that. Horns, I know you just went pissed. I did Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and then also Inception. Revisited.
Okay, we got to talk about this because Joseph Gordon-Levitt was previously mentioned. Yeah. He sucks in that movie, right?
He does, but Leo's decent, and Tom Hardy is fantastic.
Marion Cotillard is incredible in that movie.
Yes.
So fucking good.
So that was revisit that. I watched.
Sorry, real quick. Is Sam Rockwell in Hitchhiker's Guide? I know most deaf.
Yes, he is. He's one of the main characters. He's pretty funny, and that character. I told Geiger this, but that character is really, really funny in the books, and I think he did a good job of trying to make it as funny as the books. It's just hard to do because of the writing.
Wasn't his
the way
fault.
that it is.
Probably the writing, not his fault.
It wasn't his fault. It definitely was the writing and the way that the character was made. Moving right along, I watched probably 3/4 of this movie, so I went ahead and counted it. I Am Legend. Will Smith.
Have you ever seen it before?
Yeah, I have seen it before.
Okay, I was about to say, then you missed the craziest fucking part.
Yeah, no, I've seen it before, so I knew it was coming, but yeah, it was fine.
So real quick, people, never mind, that's spoilers for I Am Legend.
Yeah.
It's great though.
It's
Watch.
good. Also based on a book, in case you didn't know that, Geiger. No comment?
Why you attack him like
It's a Will Smith End of the World movie, so I've already seen it.
Not about Scientology though.
80 million times.
All right. Guys, I watch this movie probably once every 3 months. The Incredibles, watched it with my daughter. Got her to watch it. Just a great movie. We don't need to talk about it anymore. But check out our Pixar vs. the World tournament. It made a showing up in that.
Did she have a favorite character? Or like someone that when they came on screen, she like lit up? Or is it still not quite the genius not registering?
Yeah, it's not really registering. She really liked the end fight scene with the robot and when Frozone shows up and they're all kind of fighting.
Of course.
Yeah, she enjoyed that final scene, but she's still a little too young to like light up and have a favorite character yet. Although she does have a bath toy of Mr. Incredible, which she has to take a bath with.
Right. Well, the way kids' brains work, that's now embedded in there. So when she's like 18, she'll be like, "Oh my gosh, I remember seeing that." Like as a 1-year-old.
Yeah.
Damn right.
All right. I'm gonna go another really shitty movie. We put this on because I don't know. It was on Netflix and it said, "Hey, you might like this." They were wrong.
Can't be worse than Sherlock Gnomes, right?
You are. I don't know. The Cat in the Hat.
The Mike Myers one?
Yeah.
That's back when Mike Myers could do no wrong until he did the Cat in the Hat.
It was. Alec Baldwin is in it. Dakota Fanning.
What? Does Alec Baldwin play like their dad who leaves and is gone the whole movie?
Yeah, he's the stepdad.
He's like, "I'll be in it, but only one fucking scene, and you need to pay me like I'm in the whole thing."
Yeah, guys, it's really, really fucking bad. I did not enjoy it at all, but I watched it to completion. We've talked about this movie. Watched this one last night, actually. Couples Retreat makes kind of serious subject matter pretty funny. I
wanted more Jon Favreau. I really did.
I did too.
When he talks about how good he was at high school football, like that could be a whole movie in and of itself.
I was fullback.
And he brings his fucking highlight tape to Hawaii.
Yeah. And
he says at one point, "I was good. You want to check tape?"
Yeah. You want to check the tape?
Because Geiger and I have all met that guy at like a bar or a party who like has his fucking tape in the car that he'll show.
He's wearing his Letterman's jacket 15 years after he graduated.
Yeah. All
right. Then I also, because I like to switch things up a bit, watched a documentary called The Perfect Bid. Have you guys heard about this?
Me too.
No shit.
Is that the Bob Barker one on Netflix?
Yeah. Fuck yeah,
awesome.
Dude.
All right. Mini review.
Let's do it. What'd you think?
So let me tell you this. I am a big fan of The Price is Right. I remember like when I would fake be sick home from school. Sorry, Mom. It was the only fucking good thing on because it's soap operas all day and like divorce court, which is kind of interesting. But Price is Right was like the shit. And I didn't know that only one person ever has gotten a perfect bid on the Showcase Showdown.
I didn't either.
I'll just say this. I was interested in it. It's short. It's like an hour, 5 minutes. There's just not a story here to tell, man. I just don't think there's anything worth talking about.
Yeah, I agree. Like, they had me roped in just by the idea. Okay, let's tell the folks what it's about. So
real quick, my Letterboxd review says this same thing. I think I gave it a 2-star review, just because, like I said, I don't think there's anything here that says, "Ooh, let's make a documentary about that." Sorry, continue.
Yeah, I agree. So what this show is about is this guy is basically obsessed with The Price is Right, and he started tracking on the show what The Price is Right priced different items at. And
he built a computer program where he could play The Price is Right. He coded this out from scratch.
And could study
play
the prices.
all the different games. Yeah, and when he input all the prices and he would. So he basically has like one of those brains where like he's a computer.
Yeah. And
he's like Rain Man.
Basically memorized what the price of every product that has ever gone on The Price is Right is. And he goes on The Price is Right. And
37 times.
37 times he goes to the taping. He actually gets on the show in the 90s. and he guesses the exact price to get onto the stage, like to play a game. He plays the game, wins the game. He ends up, when he spins the wheel, loses there. But he had a great time.
he just gets kind
it
of
was
fucked
awesome.
by
He has like a really weird infatuation with one of the models, I thought.
Holly?
Yeah. I mean, I don't disagree with him,
that's the only normal thing I've heard you guys say this whole time. But
so they show Holly.
Thought one of the models was hot.
Holly kept her looks together, which a part of the movie, it's really, really brief, but he's not interested in women. I don't know. I'm trying to think of a euphemistic way to say that. So him and Holly have a bit of, not a relationship, but she signs a photo and kisses him, and it's like, damn, dude, nice.
Yeah. So then he goes back to one of the tapings, and he's kind of helping this older couple that he met, and ends up,
which he does a lot, right? Like
he always does that.
If you get on the show, look to me in the stands. I'll be like signaling in what I think it costs.
And he ends up kind of fucking up, I guess, but he ends up telling this dude the exact price, and guesses the exact price of a Showcase Showdown to the penny. And it never happened before. The guy goes on and basically says...
And Drew Carey was actually the host.
Drew Carey was the host
maybe
at that
first
point.
or second year.
Yeah. Drew Carey's interview with... what the fuck is his name?
Kevin Pollak.
Yeah. I thought that was really funny. Like,
that was cool.
That was cool, but I agree with you. No fucking story here, because there wasn't like a lawsuit. There wasn't anything with like about that. It was just telling us like, hey, this guy memorized a bunch of fucking products, and that was it.
The story, spoilers, skip ahead 15 seconds, but is that some guy won a perfect bid and he didn't give the dude in the stands credit for signaling him the numbers. That's the story. Which you're allowed to do that. People scream out numbers the whole fucking show.
Yeah,
I thought it was interesting. Yeah, I like the characters, but I'm just like, this is a BuzzFeed article. This isn't a documentary.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Did I watch the entire 52 minutes of it? Of course. But like, I'm never gonna get that back. And you listen to Broforce Squad, you don't need to watch the documentary.
So to your guys' point, I saw that on Netflix. I'm like, ooh, a documentary about The Price is Right. I'm interested. But then I read what it was actually about. I'm like, okay, it's just about one person, how they got. I'm like, I don't care about that. If this is about like Bob Barker and how he, started on The Price is Right and how they came up with ideas and clips of the old show, I would be in, but not.
But honestly, Geiger, that is a big part of it.
It really is.
That's probably 30 minutes. Bob Barker's interviewed in it a lot. The producer who he worked with for 35 years is interviewed in it a lot.
Is Bob Barker like not about to fucking die?
Oh my god,
he looked really bad. It was
watching him
heartbreaking.
God, it was bad. Now he seems like his mind is still there. He sounds the same, but dude, he looks.
Dude, he's drinking a bottle of scotch at night.
Emperor Palpatine is like, my god, he looks weathered.
Yeah, he looks like he's been rode hard and hung up dry.
I am The Price is Right.
I am the Plinko. Yeah, but I'm with you, Geiger. I think you actually will get, if you want to see Bob Barker in the history of the show, that is a big part of it. It really is. But it's just the perfect bid portion of it. There's no story there. There's nothing to tell. Anyway. Banner, you got anything else?
I don't think so. I think that was about it.
All right. Geiger, how about you? What's in your cup?
I got two things. Watched Game of Thrones last night, the newest episode, and this has to be new because I haven't heard of it, and it was on one of the main screens. Documentary executive produced by LeBron James and Maverick Carter called What's My Name about Muhammad Ali. Two-parter, hour and a half each. I'm through the first part. It's absolutely fucking fantastic. I did a paper on Muhammad Ali in 8th grade, like one of those, this is the biggest project you're going to do all year papers. So I know quite a lot about him, except this documentary has clips from his fight, like his not only his fight with Sonny Liston, his first heavyweight championship fight, but his fight in the fucking Olympics in the 60s. And has a lot of great stuff about not only, if you're a boxing fan, but just any type of segregation, if you're, into the history of that, and just how we basically treated African Americans in this country. One of the greatest quotes Ali had, and I mean me and Banner talked about this.
He's got a lot.
He's had a great quotes, but I've never heard this one. He won the Olympic gold medal in Rome, went back home to Louisville, Kentucky, hasn't eaten a very good dinner for a while because he's cutting weight, wanted to go eat a great dinner, and the person said, "Oh, we don't serve Negroes here." And he said, "That's fine because I don't eat them."
Damn, that's pretty good.
And then he looks at the camera when he's telling that interview. He's like, "So I won a gold medal." And he said, "I was wearing my gold medal too when I walked in this restaurant. I won a gold medal for this country, but I can't have a steak dinner." He said, "Something ain't right here." And we'll talk about in 20 years, we'll talk about Floyd Mayweather, about how he's one of the greatest boxers ever. But in his prime, he was a villain, and so was Ali. People hated Ali when he was in his prime.
For different reasons, they were villains, though.
Yeah.
Ali stood up for what he believed in. Floyd Mayweather spent half his time boxing his wife.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
But Ali, and it shows how he was a fan of Gorgeous George, who, if you're a wrestling fan, he's way back, like before Ric Flair or any of them. But he's like, I went to one of his shows and people paid because they hate him to see him, and a light bulb came on. He's like, I think more people will pay if they hate me than if they love me. And he was right, because he just basically became the villain of boxing. It's a very well done. I don't mind LeBron James, but I fucking hate Maverick Carter because he just basically rode LeBron James and is like, hey man, you're my friend, give me a bunch of money for these ideas. But this is very well done. And a lot of their stuff that they've done on HBO has been very well done. I like the barbershop stuff they do as well.
So you said it's a two-parter. Does the first one end, like, is he protesting the war? Is he still Cassius Clay, or is he Muhammad Ali?
No, he becomes Muhammad Ali probably. He became Muhammad Ali after the first Sonny Liston fight. So after he won Golden Gloves and the Olympics, he turned pro. He had 10 kind of scrap fights. He fights Sonny Liston. Right after that, they show how basically him and Malcolm X were boys. Like, I mean, they were boys for a while. Malcolm X finally.
I've seen a photo of them together.
Yeah, they were friends since the 60s.
So, because there's so much of his life even after, remember, like him bearing the torch at the Atlanta Olympics?
I was telling Geiger obviously we're a lot younger, so we weren't alive when Muhammad Ali was big, but that is something that I will never forget. I remember watching that on TV with my parents, him lighting the torch. That's my only living memory, really, of Muhammad Ali, and I will never forget that.
I'm interested because the Ali movie, although I liked it, it's so hard to get in everything in his life that I wanted to see, and it kind of ended with George Foreman. Part 1 ends with one of the Frazier fights, and I'm really interested to show if they show the Larry Holmes Muhammad Ali fight. If you ever want to see something that'll make you cry, and if you're our age, if you're around like 28 to 30, ask your fathers or grandfathers. They probably cried watching this fight because Ali actually had Parkinson's. It wasn't detective yet, and he went and fought Larry Holmes. It's one of the most saddest fights ever to watch. And Larry Holmes was actually a sparring partner for Ali and loved Ali, and he's like, dude, I don't want to knock him out, but he just keeps coming. He won't quit.
Right.
But it's one of the saddest fights to watch.
Is the Frazier fight Manila, or is it a different one?
The first one's in Madison Square Garden, and the second one's a Thriller in Manila. They had 3, I believe.
Have they got to Manila in the documentary yet?
No. They're going to get to that in probably part 2, and then the whole draft dodging, all that kind of stuff too.
Yeah. Because there's a lot of story to tell. Like, you could even go into like his daughter and stuff like that if you really wanted.
Yeah.
I mean, his life was.
I would like to know when he first I think I already kind of know this story, but when he first got, he knew that he had Parkinson's, but he basically was kind of fighting anyway because he needed money and stuff like that. I'd like him to get in that, but there's a lot of interviews that I have not seen, and clips and pictures of him training and stuff from the 60s that I've never seen before. It's very well done.
It's called What's My Name? You said?
What's My Name on HBO.
Okay.
The other thing I watched was Hatfields McCoys for like the 10th time on Netflix. So good. It's just one of the greatest Westerns ever.
Costner, right?
Costner, Bill Paxton, God rest his soul. It's just fantastic.
Is that a series?
Yes, it's a 3-part series that's like 2 hours each.
And I think it aired on the History Channel originally, right? If I'm not wrong.
Yeah, it was History Channel. And then they tried to do it again with the Alamo, and like Brendan Fraser was a Native American, and it just was not very good.
Didn't fucking work.
Yeah.
I don't see how that would fail. What?
Brendan Fraser was
absolutely
one of those guys that was on my I hate him, but I almost put him on for the Mummy franchise in our chest day, but I just couldn't quite do it.
Dude,
If you're gonna
go look at that trailer. I can't remember what it was called, but go look at that trailer and you're like, dude, Geiger sucks, dude. This looks awesome. Then go try to watch 20 minutes and you'll be like, Jesus, this is terrible.
Banner, that would just be kicking Brendan Fraser while he's down. He's at home listening to the pod with like probably a bucket of KFC. Like, dude, leave me the fuck alone.
He has a smaller apartment than I have right now, probably. So yeah,
and his mailbox is like stuffed with past due bills.
Yeah. He's actually sharing a 2-bedroom with Brandon Roth.
Who do we use to say?
Him and Joel Schumacher.
Joel Schumacher, yeah.
I told the creditors Bedazzled's going to be on TNT this week. I'll get the royalties from that and they'll get paid. Get the fuck off my neck.
Blast from the Past is showing on coming up soon.
Oh, I'd watch
I actually
like
that movie.
Is so hot in that.
Yeah, she is. Commentary coming soon where we don't actually talk. We just stare at Elizabeth Hurley the entire time.
She's cool.
Anything else, Geiger?
No, I'm good.
All right. Well, I don't know if Banner mentioned this when I was peeing, but you're both lying if you didn't bring up Hurricane Heist, which we watched this past week.
I'm embarrassed to say that we watched that. Actually, I did not say it.
Yeah, but we didn't just do it for fucking shits and gigs. What's that? Where Derek gets his real estate license? Shits and gigs. It was work, and we did a Bro Force Squad movie commentary on it, which will be dropping TBD. But when it does. For it, you can watch Hurricane Heist along with us. It's
change
horrible.
The world when it drops.
I've heard that it's going to be the biggest fucking thing since the internet, which I still don't think is going to catch on, but whatever. Yeah, so we watched Hurricane Heist. It was bad, but it was great at the same time. And when you listen to the commentary, Geiger and I were actually able to get our hands on a little Hollywood secret. It's the audio. We could only rip the audio of the trailer for Hurricane Heist 2, which hasn't even been announced yet. So fuck us, right? We might be dead by the time this airs just for releasing that. Worth it though. I also watched The Perfect Bid. Banner and I talked about that. My fiance is great, and she surprised me with IMAX tickets to Avengers Endgame. Obviously, we watched it the night it came out, but I wanted to see it in IMAX 2D since it was the first movie fully shot in IMAX 2D, and it was the second week it'd been out, so it was cool because like most of the theater had already seen it, and the scene where, spoilers, skip ahead 30 seconds if you haven't seen Avengers Endgame, but where Cap's shield has been cut up by the Uru metal on Thanos' sword, and basically like the greatest comic book movie scene of all time is about to happen. This guy in the back stood up, clapped 2 times, and goes, "Here we go!" And then Falcon goes, "On your left." And it was, I don't know, it just made it so much fucking cooler. And it was on a 7-story screen in front of me. And it's just a nerdgasm. And I think it was a great, again, I said this on our review, great love letter to say, I'll see you later to the MCU. Because I'll see the movies, but this is like my heart went with it. It's like that, chick that you made out with all summer camp and you break up and like, you're never going to love anyone like that again. Now, am I going to French a chick at the Mixer in August? Of course. Yeah, I will. But is it going to mean anywhere near as much as Elizabeth and I? No. Down at the docks? What we had was real and it mattered.
She'll still text you nudes if you ask. Politely,
You
right?
say please.
Don't be a dick
with a praying hands emoji.
I'm not going to show anyone else.
Yeah, are you kidding me? This is our special thing. Why would I share this? And then you go to the group text with your boys, like, I think I'm about to get him. Hold up.
Dude, look at this.
Stand by.
One other thing I watched, I really recommend this show. It is the Netflix original series Dead to Me.
Okay.
With Linda Cardellini, Christina Applegate, and James Marsden. So they describe it as a comedy. It's definitely a dramedy, but Christina Applegate plays a hilarious, really fucking angry mom who probably drops the F-bomb like every third word, whose husband was hit and killed by a drunk driver. and she meets Linda Cardellini at this like therapy group because Linda Cardellini just had a miscarriage, excuse me, and they get drunk like the whole series together. And James Marsden is Linda Cardellini's ex-boyfriend, who's like a super douchebag who's hilarious in it. So Dead to Me, season 1 is out. I very much recommend it. It kind of ends on a cliffhanger that I think I'm okay with, but I'm not sure. I want one of you guys to see it to give me an opinion. It's 10 30-minute episodes.
Oh, I'll bust that out tonight. I'll let you know tomorrow.
Yeah.
Banner's already halfway through it.
Banner will somehow text me in an hour and a half, just finished. I'll be like, that's not mathematically possible. No, I'm done. I promise. All right, normally I'd go to Do You Even Lift, bro? But guys, let's be honest. The question I picked out this week is not really a thing, right? We don't need to talk about it.
I'm not going to lie. I didn't even look at it. What's the question?
Okay, good.
I've never seen any of the movies, so.
Yeah. So it was bone dry on the questions this week. We'll probably tweet actually next week to get some questions from you guys. So we got nothing for that. So we'll just go straight to the closing. So as we go to the pen, Matt Geiger, you're coming in relief. Do you want to throw a pitch, or are we just going to pick a guy off stealing? Do you have anything you want to add before we let the people go?
What are your guys' thoughts? I don't know if any of you are going to go see Aladdin. I think I might go see it. But are you like just seeing it so you can tell everyone I told you so? I told you it was going to suck? Or are you nervous? Or are you just saying, fuck it, you're not even going to see it at all?
Banner.
Yeah, fuck it. I'm just not going to see it. I'm going to let everybody else see it, and either if everybody says, dude, it's really fucking bad, I might see it so that I can be like, yeah, I told you it was going to be bad. If they come out and say it's good, then okay, I might go see it because it's good.
I don't think anyone's going to say that.
I don't think so either. If it's like mixed reviews, I'll wait till it's on Disney Plus.
I'm going to go this weekend. And Geiger, now that I think that's happening, we should definitely review it.
Because I was thinking about going Friday if you want to go.
I can go Saturday, so maybe we can review it Saturday.
Yeah, I can maybe do that.
Here's the thing: do I think this? Again, this might not make any sense. Do I think this movie's going to be good? Absolutely not. I have eyeballs. I've seen the trailers, but at the same time, like I don't know. It's kind of like that expectations thing we talk about. Like, I don't know how I could leave this movie and be like really pissed off, because if it sucks, I'll just be like, yeah, I mean,
I can tell you why. It's because Will
if
Smith
it's even
is the goddamn
average,
fucking genie. That's why.
Right. That could annoy me. But if it's even average, I feel like I'll be like, I mean, that was kind of surprising, right? Like,
what if it sucks and they change like some part of the ending or some big thing, and basically they just shit on your childhood, and like, not only did this movie suck, we also took, I'm not even like, Aladdin, Jafar wins or something. I don't fucking know. Just something stupid. Would you be more pissed?
Here's what I'll say to those people at home listening who are like, oh, what do you just want a shot-for-shot remake? Yes! I mean,
it's not really a shot-for-shot remake because you're doing it with real actors now. So
right. So maybe we're in the minority, but yes, I want fucking every scene verbatim. I want to see it in live action. That's what I want. So maybe that's stupid to say.
It's a bad week for Roddy Cycling. I mean, the reason he's not on tonight is because he said, I don't know if I can stick the gun out of my mouth long enough to talk on some of these points, because he's just very distraught.
Check out our movie commentary on the animated Aladdin, which is a top 5 Disney movie of all time. And the only movie commentary we've ever done where a Domino's delivery guy actually gets on the mic for about 5 seconds.
Yep.
The first, but probably not the last, I think we can safely say. All right, Banner, anything you want to close with?
Just remember to spade and neuter your pets.
I was going to say, this episode, more than any, that's applicable. Geiger, one of the interviews in the documentary, Drew Carey, I don't know why he made such a big, I thought it was weird, Banner, when he made such a big fucking deal about this, but it's like, I told Bob in my interview, I swear to God, every episode I'll say to spay and neuter your pets. I feel like Bob Barker's like, all right, Drew, fucking give me a foot. Like, that's great. I don't really.
Did Bob Barker say that because he believed in it, or was that a sponsor?
No, he actually believed in it. He talked a little bit on it, but I've actually read other stuff. Like, he truly believed it.
But I
Why
almost
is
feel
that
like
such a big deal to him, I guess?
Say, no one's dying from it, but whatever.
I mean, I petted
All right.
a lot of dogs, but I've never asked the owner, is that spayed or neutered? I don't, like, that's a weird question. I don't know. Whatever.
It's
I
control the
digress.
pet population, bruh. All right.
I love
On
dogs, though.
On that note, we've been the Bro4 Squad podcast. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at Bro4 Squad. Check out all of our movie reviews, at least all the movies that I watched, because I immediately go to letterboxd.com and review them afterwards. Search Bro Force Squad, 3 separate words on there. And if you type in those same 3 words to iTunes, Spotify, or YouTube, you can find us and subscribe to us. Check out all of our content. And also everything that we post in our squad blog is on our website, bro4squad.com. For the mad scientist, Brian Banner, the enforcer in the paint, Matt Geiger, I'm the mayor, Jeff Hornacek. Thank you guys for checking us out. We will see you next time at the movies.